Hey,
Perfect.
it just started recording on its own.
Because you know what? These are all the way they're based. They are all baked in.
Gotcha.
They're not. Yeah, so you don't have to do anything. Only thing I have to do is just give you um, control. So let me. I've
Gotcha.
never done it from my phone, so I'll do it. And then if something happens, you could text me, and I'll do it real quick. So let me
Sure.
check. All right, let's see
Hey man,
here.
that first file is still uploading. I don't know what the heck is going on.
That the both of them.
No, I just did one at a time and I started it around 10:40 this morning and I'm 3.1 gigabytes in
Were you
and it's
this? You're
7 o'clock
downloading.
again.
You're
Yeah,
downloading that file.
yeah, I'm downloading that template.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's been 8.5 hours for one file.
No, that's crazy. So what? Let me do this. I'll I'll put it on Dropbox and give you a Dropbox file and see if that's faster.
Yeah,
Just to
okay.
see if there's something wrong with it. Because there's no way it should take that long.
Yeah, I don't know if
Because
it's my computer.
that's like a
Yeah, it's quite ridiculous.
yeah yeah. Let's try Dropbox or Drive, Google Drive. I'll put them in both and see which one downloads faster. Then once you
Okay.
have the template, then you don't have to worry about it after that.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be done soon and I'll figure it out one way or the other.
Cool. All right.
All right, have fun.
All right. Thank you, man. Let me go ahead and do this. Leave meeting. Assign.
Farewell, good friend. Hey, hey, hey.
Dude, I did not realize that he gave both of us permissions to start this. I joined this at like 8:30 and was very confused as to why I was just let in.
Yeah, we had to fix the permissions so that we could do that. It was a challenge in and of itself. But what threw me for a loop is as soon as I joined in, like started recording, I'm like, whoa,
Oh,
I'm not ready for this.
oh God.
Because I was
I
gonna come in 10 minutes early just to like catch everybody and say hi, whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and let you record me for 10 minutes. That's awkward.
I don't
I
know
even
what you
have a
want me to
bit
do for
prepared.
10 minutes.
So how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired.
I can
Um,
tell.
yeah, I got home at like 3:30 and then I had a headache, so I kind of just like rotted in bed for a little bit. And then my mom ordered barbecue, and it took everything in me not to go to sleep almost immediately after
Mm.
eating. So, but yeah, I'm good. Um, my brain is kind of thinking about a lot of things at once, but that's all I can really do because I'm too tired to like draw or write. But
That's fair.
it's warming somewhere in my brain. So, how are you? How's your
Good. I've
your
been
arm
I've been working
situation?
on. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go get the MRI tomorrow,
Oh,
and
okay,
hopefully they'll
cool.
be able to tell me some good. But yeah, it's hurting more as the days go on.
Oh,
So hopefully they can put a fix to that.
yeah.
But I've been drawing some of my ancillary characters,
Mm,
redesigning outfits, trying to like, do all kinds of stuff. And I thought I was
mm-hmm.
doing pretty good. And then I like uploaded all the stuff for tonight's critique. And I'm like, I don't want art anymore. You guys suck because you're so good.
So mean. Come on, man. That's so mean.
No.
I liked it. I do. I like it. I think she's cool. How? Because there's it's always hard for me to pronounce her name, but she's my favorite because I know she's tiny, she's Latina, and she's either super bored all the time or she's a little bit crazy. And that's just like my guesses about who she is as a person. Um, and I love her,
The
so I
one,
was very
the
excited
one
to
with the
see.
shotgun?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's who I've been redesigning all day.
nice. I love her. She's very. I mean, all of them are interesting, but she in particular interests me the most.
Except for the swordsman. He's like supposed to be a stick in the mud.
You know what? You captured it because I was like, you know what? You have these two badass women, and then you have man. Mm, well, that's good. Tally should be coming in soon. Mm, 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 mm.
It'll be good.
Mhm, mhm.
We've got some good pieces to look at.
Yeah, I love, I love Rapunzel. It's so good. It's so good.
I feel kind of weird. It's like, how can, like, what feedback can I realistically offer when you guys blow my skills out of the water?
Well, I mean, you give great feedback. Ow. Like,
Mm,
I take your suggestions fully to heart in terms of consideration. So I just say, well, I mean, critique is just as good as what you like about it.
that's fair. Mm. Yeah, I'm having trouble. I think you saw the one that I posted earlier
Hmm.
with Whisper sitting on the chair, kneeling on that chair, or whatever.
Yeah.
Those jackets are tough. Like, I want a bomber
Yeah.
jacket,
Hmm.
but like I think I could do a jacket over clothes, but doing a jacket over hard pieces of armor,
Yeah.
that's a whole
Yeah.
different thing.
Well, that's what I also wanted to ask. Like, how is like what's the texture behind her cybernetics? Because that could also help with like situating like soft fabric over hard armor and that sort of thing. Because I feel like certain armor pieces would catch like, especially if you get like a flight bomber jacket that has padding in the shoulders, that would catch here.
Mhm.
So how do you situate, especially because she is like, I'm assuming like she would be an equivalent to like a net runner in Cyberpunk. How do you situate her armor pieces in a way that gives her dexterity still? Because like her fit honestly reminds me of oh, fuck, what's her name? She's I forget her fucking name, but she has a whole quest line with Johnny Silverhand. Rogue.
Oh yeah,
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 that's what that's who she reminds me of every time I look at her.
yeah. I was actually mad because what was the female the brain dance? Oh, she's one
Who,
of the
Judy?
Judy. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I saw Judy. I'm like, dude, that's my character. Somebody freaking stole her. Like I even wanted to give her like the buzz cut and the bob
Hmm.
and everything. And she's Hispanic. She's a never. The difference between her and Judy is she doesn't talk. That's
Oh,
pretty much
she's
the only
mute?
difference. Yeah,
Holy
everything
shit.
else, everything else is 100%. Well, okay, so I have two different versions. Like one's kind of like a slightly postmodern,
Yeah.
and she can talk. She just refuses to as a form of silent protest. Hey, Ernie, how's it
Right.
going?
Hi, Ernie.
But in the full blown cyberpunk version, like
Yeah.
she has had a bad surgery on a throat modulator, so she can't
Yeah.
speak.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I thought it was fun, and the character concept came from I wanted a stealth assassin with a shotgun, like
Ooh,
really
yeah.
sneaky, getting in, and then once she's ready to do the job, like yeah,
It's one and
loud as
done.
fuck.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
when I played with her in a tabletop game, um, the way that she would get past people is by uploading like the most obnoxious clips of porn into their audio feeds,
Hmm.
and like because it's just surprising, it's like what the heck,
Yeah,
so
that's very
that's
jinx of her.
that's what would yeah, that it was just fun. And then she would talk by sending text messages or emojis, like that's her primary form of
Oh,
communication.
cute. I love that.
That's why they call her Whisper. How's everything going, Ernie? Can you hear us?
He might be muted.
Ernie, can you hear us?
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
My mind went somewhere else.
You're
No, that's okay.
good. Hello.
How's everything going for you?
Good. Everything's fine. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've been like working a lot and I think I'm a little bit what's like the word like overwhelmed over something
Mm,
with work
yeah,
Mm,
over everything.
over everything. So I feel like I need to rest a little bit this weekend. But yeah,
that's
Yeah,
good.
definitely.
you guys, how are you?
All right.
Same. Same. Lots of
I've
work.
actually my workload has been very light, but I've been trying to download a file since 10:30 this morning, and I'm only 3 GB into it.
Ooh,
So
jeez.
I know we're on time zone difference, but that's been 8.5 hours for me to download one file.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it?
Jesus, that's a lot.
And of course, you can't leave your computer because the minute my computer goes to sleep, it stops downloading.
So what, you're gonna sit there for 8 hours and let it
I have been.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So where are you at now?
Okay. Three gigabytes into it.
Jeez, that's so much.
Yeah. Hi, Tally.
Hello, hello.
Godspeed, dude.
I think we're just.
Hi.
Oh,
Hello.
excuse me.
Sorry, I
Hello,
joined in
hello.
like the middle of like everyone talking.
Oh, no, no, you're fine. I was just lamenting computer problems, workload problems.
Computer
Brian's tired.
problems.
Ernie's tired. I'm tired of sitting here. There's a theme. There's a theme. Do you have energy or are you tired too? Because I'm gonna let
I
you run things if you're feeling good.
listen, I have the energy, but I don't know if I have the focus.
There we go.
That's the thing.
No worries. We'll be good. I think we're just waiting for Lewis. But
Mhm. I'm not sure he's gonna be here because I know he's like in full what you
finals
call
mode.
it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Not me, man. I totally took a layup. I'm like, yeah, this is good enough. And I just let it go.
Yeah, dude. That's how I treated most of my finals. This is what you get. I know this is at least going to give me a passing grade, so that's all the effort you're getting.
I want to share this, I think. Wait, hold on. There. Does everybody see that?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Ooh.
I know, right? How am I supposed to critique this? It looks beautiful.
that's Lewis, right?
This is from Lewis.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Okay, there's Lewis. I
Hello.
promise you, Lewis, I was gonna skip and come back and wait for you. I just opened the programs. Yeah, you haven't missed anything.
I think he's getting his mic to work.
I sure am. How's it going?
Oh,
You
hi.
trust the process.
It's going
How are you
good.
doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Awesome.
Good.
There's a theme of tiredness, except for Tally. Tally's got the energy. She just didn't have the focus.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I see my artwork's on the screen. There it is.
Yeah, I literally just opened the program, so you were the first one that I uploaded to the thing. So obviously, I'm not Robert. Robert's got stuff going on, so we're gonna just do a group critique, help, whatever.
Oh,
We're
that's
gonna go
fun.
through it. So I was looking at, I mean, honestly, I was looking at this earlier, and I can tell you, this is this is in draft mode, but I honestly don't know what to tell you about this. This looks beautiful. I love the shift in colors. I like that, there you've got these two primary light sources on most of these, the red and the the yellow, and I like the purple and the shadows. Like the figures look good. I mean, everything looks is. I'm getting a sense of what you're telling here. This is some really good work.
Thank you. So I got to make a pitch about this later. So it's like basically this is a illustration for a light novel that I'm currently working on.
Ooh.
So basically it's about like students going into the library, they have to go hunt for some books that for their exams to become part of the school itself. And then for monetizations, they've asked me saying like, how do I sell this? It's like, so basically it'll be episodic and episode 0 will be free. So that is going to introduce it as a leader loss. And the other episodes will be released from then on. And then you have to buy, you would just have to buy like a single package for it. Similarities of this will be like for say like Arknights or some certain gotcha games out there that utilizes visual novels.
Mhm.
And then that pretty much it. It's like you see the 3 main characters here. You've got Charles, you've got Rosie, and you have Lulu, who is the elf in the back. And then they are currently trying to work together to survive to get to the deepest part of the dungeon and collect the rarest books so that they can have the highest grade.
I dig it.
Throughout this-
One thing that I particularly love is the pops of colors in the highs. I think
That
that's
is
really
like
great.
that is a feature that some of my classmates actually loved about it and saying like, no, you should keep that in there because I didn't have time to actually do full coloring. So I decided like, okay, let's do a stylization then.
Okay, so yeah, honestly, I like I like it the way you have it with the colors as they are. It sells a whole ass mood, and I'm here for that. And then just these
Thank you.
little pops of colors is what really draws me in, and Yeah, man, I'm really digging the style. Even if you just went to draft as it is, I've seen a lot of products that will do that. They'll kind of have like that rough concepty style, but I mean, your artwork's amazing. Like you can tell your talent here. Even if you preserve this style, I think that would sell.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much. I'll try my best whenever I have to do the presentation. But yeah, this is a project that I'm actually going to start carrying forward in the summer because I'm actually am going to try to create a entire visual novel, and I think I have a second piece. I think I posted around here that kind of it has to back it up. So I'm currently working on that right now to where it kind of helps like the slides where how I'll utilize the characters going back and forth, and I'll create like another tab that shows like an example of two characters talking.
Okay.
Mhm.
I like that the camera angles makes it feel
Yes,
cinematic.
very dynamic.
Yeah.
Like
This is my favorite
definitely
part. It's like advanced perspective.
yeah, there's an epic story just in these stills. So, you've done a really good job with the representation of the individual captures and the overall feel. Like I said, those pops, the eye colors, or the coloring in the eyes, like really draw you in. And yeah, I'm sold.
Thank you. So what's going on is that there's like a whole bunch of students going into the dungeon. They're all competing to get the best items and then bring it back because they want to be part of the school. And each of these characters, they had an ABC plot where they all got separated. And some of the like Rosie there, she got betrayed by her old party and using her as bait because this gargoyle is running around hunting for all of these students because they keep destroying things around and then making a bunch of noise. And so after she got separated, Charles here ends up helping her out, and then Lulu actually ends up becoming the party leader because she's the one actually charting and building a map of the entire place. And she's the only person that has like the list that they need, where the other two they lost theirs.
Mm.
So now to survive, they have to work together in order to get the best pieces in the very front. And so now they're continuing on forward, and continuously they're being hunted down by this gargoyle.
Okay.
So it's
Like,
very
he's just a joke.
it's very
The
tourist.
janitor. It's like, darn kids, get off my lawn. It's like,
So basically how this
all just make a mess.
So basically how this dungeon works is that it goes by levels. So the deeper you go, the more dangerous it becomes. And at max, students are only allowed to go as deep as level 3. But these students went down to level 6. And so now they are stuck there, and then along with a whole bunch of other students who have also broken the rules, and they're also stuck there, and they're doing whatever they can to survive, including like trying to betray each other on that stuff. There's an antagonist named Dweller who becomes a big problematic person. Now, he decided to create an entire group behind him, and with his incompetence, he caused the entire team to start having problems, and then they started becoming separated, and then some of them started dying. So it becomes dramatic as like time progresses. But they have 3 days to collect what they need, and then they have to come back before the time becomes an end.
I dig it. It kind of reminds me of this anime I was watching. It was Assassin's Pride.
Mm-hmm.
They had a similar thing where they had to go on live. That was like my favorite part of the whole show. And like when I saw this, it made me think of that. I'm like, oh, I love it. And I saw like all of my pinball lights started lighting up as the ball was bouncing.
This is one of my favorite worlds in my Mage Town universe for Crestfallen Stories. And basically, this is the infinite library. So basically, it's endless. So the further you go down, the more dangerous it becomes, and it starts to become like biome territories. You'll have some places that are underwater, places that are full of green and full of like forest, and then you got some that are just like all like lava-like and everything. And it takes different types of mages and people to be able to get to these places. And you find books that are categorized in these things. And what's cool about these books is that they're indestructible. So when you take them out of the library, you have to have it magically stamped. Otherwise, it will disappear within 24 hours.
Mm.
And once it stamps, it'll keep itself preserved for 14 days. And then once the 14 days is up, you either have to get it stamped again or it will teleport back to where it belonged.
That's
And so what
super
happens in this library is the guild will hire different parties of mages, including students, to go into this dungeon to find these books and then bring them back so that they can do research. And so that's how they get paid here.
I dig it. I think it's like a 10 out of 10 concept. I love it.
Me too.
Do you like do you come up with all the storytelling?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's super.
You should see my other works. It's like it is massive. I have a whole encyclopedia of like this whole Crestfallen story because this is just one part, one side story of like a different main story. So I love like talking about different parts of the worlds. And Nordspell Academy is a side story that talks about the students and then how they grow up in the Nordspell Castle.
Okay, that's cool.
I dig it. Anybody else have final words on this piece?
Once again,
Great.
I love all like the camera angles.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, we'll move on then. Good work, Lewis. And here's your
I have another question. Who are you pitching this to?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, you said you're going to pitch this.
I see. So
Later?
this is going to be my final for advanced perspective, and for each of us, we got 5 minutes to pitch our idea of like what we are planning to sell. So basically, our professor Joko, I am trying to sell this visual novel to him, and I have to explain it.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
And
I
then
dig
so
it.
basically we have like presentation boards. So usually we have like this side and then we have another one where it just kind of like shows the pieces and parts of how I'm putting it together.
Is this the one you were
Well, I
doing
think you're going to do.
the hundreds of thumbnails on?
That is right. I had to do 120 thumbnails of like different
Yeah.
iterations. That was a fun one.
Well, I really love what you got. You can tell that you put a lot of work into it. Even your thumbnails look beautiful. Like I said, like I've seen a lot of games, a lot of like was that Slay the Princess? Have you ever seen her played that?
I think I've heard of it. Slay the Princess.
It's
think
this
so.
wonderful game. It's a
Wait,
lot
no,
of
I
really
have.
deep
Yes,
psychology.
I have seen it.
Yeah, so you know the art style in that. It's like
Mhm.
a still image with like very minor animation, and it's very rough, but like I love it. And for the game and what it is, like I buy the art just as it is, you know? And that kind of gives me that same vibe. Like I like this rough and dirty style or rough and loose because it's still got, technical brilliance, like your camera angles, your perspective, like everything reads so well. Like I'd buy this as it is.
Thank you. Like the bottom left, it just shows like they were arguing, and then Lulu in the very back there is just trying to correct it and mediate.
Mhm.
Yeah, love it.
I've had a lot of fun with this, so it's like I can't wait to continue on working with it.
All right.
That's like
Moved
right.
on to your next. So these are from the same. Yeah. Okay. So we see this character, and this character, and who's this guy?
So that'll be Dweller. So I'm currently
Okay.
drawing him right now. I'm fixing them up, and basically this will be like the focus cast, and then you have the minor characters up there. So where it's like you got the little gnome, and then you have the gargoyle, and then the two NPCs that will be used as like random people talking.
Dig it. Yeah. Again, so these are really good thumbnail or great silhouettes. The only thing that I saw is like in these two guys, they look like they're off balance. You'll have to forgive me. My arm is in a sling and I'm left-handed. So I'm doing all this right-handed with a 2 by 3 inch track mouse pad. So my art's not pretty.
Yeah, I could see it. Okay, I could fix that.
So yeah, what I did is I just like altered them, angled them a little bit. They're fast and dirty and cheap. But no, it looks great, man. Like this, the stupidest little thing. Where's my tape?
That's my little isometric.
I love this though.
That little guy.
So I saw you're known from up top.
Yep, so he is named Jeremy 36. So apparently
Jeremy
he is
36.
so what's funny is that these gnomes are all they're all maintenance people that work all around the entire castle. And they travel everywhere inside of the dungeon easily because they got like this weird space ability to slip in between areas. And the reason why he's named 36 is because there are over 200 of him. He's got brothers and sisters that are all named Jeremy.
Oh my God. I love
That's
that
always
so
fun.
much.
But yeah, I dig it. Like I said, these silhouettes they read really well, dynamic. As like this one, I was thinking about this one, like you had it here. Like I don't know about this character, but if you could like exaggerate like the curve of the leg, like maybe have that bend in, like I think that would give your silhouette make it pop a lot more, give you some negative space in the back here to work with. But
Yeah, I could do
it
that.
looks really great. I'm digging it.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I love it. I love like silhouettes. I know I have trouble trying to make my silhouettes all different. And the fact that I can just recognize them instantly, like, pow,
Yeah,
love that.
You're not
yeah, I
alone.
love
I'm
it.
terrible at silhouettes too.
But no, man, like I love with this up here. Like these read so well at a distance. And here, zoom in on them.
Yeah.
Like these silhouettes, they read so well.
hmm
So good job. You're definitely getting your money's worth.
I'm still impressed with the complexity of the storytelling concept. It feels like a really world building with different
Yeah,
layers and lots of possibilities. That's something that I struggle with to like come up with a world building concept. And it looks like you've already had that like checked in.
Thank you.
yeah, I dig it.
Here's like some extras that didn't get in, but it's like I plan to put it into like this little board. It's like a little action pose to pose.
Yeah, so let's see if I can. Uh,
Now, don't let me take up all y'all's time. I'll probably be here all day talking about this storyline.
I'm looking
It's
at what
great.
you just shared and it looks good as well. Are the images that you just sent to the chat part of the same?
It is part of the same story. So it is an introduction of Charles to where he is told to defend a certain position while Rosie is hacking a console called an Oracle. And so he is charging up he is a sword magist. So he utilizes magic utilizing his sword.
Okay.
And right now he is their best fighter because it's really rare to have a combat mage. So he comes from a line of magic knights, and he is currently like a noble. He decided to go into the library on his own, and the reason why he's with the other two is because he has no idea what magic theory is, and no idea how to navigate around because he lost his map.
ooh, I love that. that does a good job. Yeah, like even coming from, part one, like here it is charging up and then follow through. Yeah, those are two great shots right next to each other.
Yeah, that idea of the trace behind it feels like the Tron movies where
Yeah.
it just stays. That's cool.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is like make sure his eye color matches like from here. Cause I mean I know I know that you're on the stage, but like if you're gonna focus on the eye color to, as a distinguishing feature, like having that trail in that same color, I think that would be pretty tight. That
I think
one
what I'll
pop-up
do
color
is
that's different.
I think what I'll do is I'll change the gradient map because I
Mhm.
chose like a specific gradient map for this, and then I just gotta swap it out, and then I think I'll pick a trace of blue.
Yeah, I dig it, man. That's awesome. Yeah, and Ernie, if you ever like need help with floor building and stuff, like that's what we do here.
I
Anytime
would
out.
love to. You don't get me started with that because I will talk and talk.
Yeah. I mean, all of us, Tally, Ryan, Lewis, me, like all of us we love the lore. So yeah, if you ever got stuff you want to bring or try to put together, yeah.
Now, what is this? This is actually nice. It looks like
Rapunzel.
yeah.
Yeah, that's mine. I'm making this is an illustration for a contest that's basically about Rapunzel. So they posted like the short story, and you had to do an illustration about anywhere from the story. And yeah, so last week I posted a first sketch, but I wasn't like digging it. And then I made and then I redesigned this one, and I like this one better.
I like this one
It's
too.
You certainly
Yeah.
got a way of folds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the flowiness of the hair, and it's like the moment where she's laying her hair down the tower for someone to climb, whether it's the witch or whether it's the prince. So what I'm trying to do with this project is to practice more the light situation with the
Yeah. See, you got these three open windows, and I'm just imagining how you're gonna paint that. And I think it's gonna be awesome.
I posted as a comment under this post like
Oh,
the
did you?
work in progress that I'm doing in traditional with pencil and pastels. But it's basically light. The figure is it's like the light is coming from just one window. The other two are closed. So yeah, I'm trying to play with the contrast between the light and the darks, and yeah, I'm having fun with this one.
So this will be traditional or digital?
Yeah, it's a mix because
Okay.
that's always like the way I work. I always start with traditional. Well, the sketch is always digital, then I
Mhm.
back to traditional, and then I scan it and I finish it digital. But yeah, I like it. I had a friend pose for me that really helped with the posture, and yeah, I hope.
Yeah, it looks really good. I love the expression on the face. Like there's like a big like she's got this. I don't know. Like there's not a gentleness to it. There's a determination. Like she's about to do some work, and I think it really contrasts well with like all the flowing hair. So it's like a strong strength and feminism. I don't know. These are things that
I
I
would
get.
say watch out for some shapings around the like at below the neck. So usually there's a collarbone there if that's exposed skin. Usually that will show like a bit of a shadow going on there. So,
Yeah.
and then along with that, underneath the chin, to help
Mhm.
create that depth and separation, you want to put a little bit of value there. So
Yeah.
you want to try to apply some darks. There's an easy way that I would do this is that if I wanted to print this out and then do some traditional work, just focus on base colors and then apply. Well, there's two ways you can do this. So like you can go ahead and apply your values and then have it planned out. And then you can just use traditional to apply just the base colors. And then you go back to digital and you can do a multiply to create the values.
Yeah, it's basically like what I'm doing. I printed this on
Mhm.
tone paper, so it already has like a mid value. So I'm applying
Oh, that's
pastel.
fancy.
Yeah, I'm applying pastel for like the light values and
Oh,
graphite
dude, that's
for
cool.
darker values.
Mhm.
So right now I'm just with two, and then I'm going to move digital to apply color. I don't
Got
have
it.
to figure out yet the palette that I'm going through with this one. So I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of time with color. So I'm just trying to like
So it'll
focus
be
on,
like monochromatic.
yeah, probably because I have to get this done by next Friday. So I
Oh,
only
wow.
have like a week to work on this left. So yeah, probably it's going to be monochromatic, but I want to make sure like all the values and the value pattern is like spot on.
I got it.
I'm
Yeah.
cheating because I'm also looking at the other image that you put up. But the one thing I had from this one was I would show the hook, which you do, just not in this one. And then once you got it, I'd have a taut line, a string of hair. And I think that having it going behind like that would like give some pretty
Yeah.
good contrast. So you've got this beautiful flowing pattern, like repetition everywhere, and then just like knife straight through it, give you
Yeah.
that contrast. And it kind of follows along with her eye line. So I think that would add some fun to it. But then you got this. So you got that. The one thing I do like though, or I'm sorry, hang on, we're back over here. I like these three windows. Like at first, I was thinking like that's too much windows, but then I'm imagining you painting this, and I'm like, you have such a great sensitivity with like your colors and your light diffusion. Like I'm actually excited to see this with three windows and having the light splayed in, and like highlighting like little bits of hair in here, and then just all throughout this whole piece, how you would play with that. And then I was a little sad to see there's only one window here, but I get it; it makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
The story says that it's like a small window, the
yeah,
one that she lays her hair off. So I'm like playing that with the notion of the small concept being more of a like a narrow one, and the other ones are going to be like closed up, like they are going to be, because I want the whole room to feel dark, and that the
Yeah.
only light source is this one narrow window open. So the other two are going to like for the purpose of giving it context of the roundness of the tower of the inside. But yeah, the main light source is going to be like this one.
yeah. And honestly, like this pose, like you could keep this, and then you could just like alter this slack and bring that hook down even right here
Mhm.
to narrow that even more. So like like have your cutoff. Sorry, I'm right-handed
Yeah,
mousing,
no,
and but yeah,
I
if you had that hook coming down like right here,
I thought about the
you
I
could
thought
still
about
use this same pose, just give it a little bit more slack, and then I'd still add that tautness right there.
Yeah, yeah. I thought about like closing the window down there just as you have it with like imaginary, like if someone put wood on the outside and that's blocking the window. So yeah, I'm still debating of whether or not that's a good way, because I like the longiness. I always like these shapes that are elongated vertically. So I really like the shape of the window, and I like how the hair that's hanging feels like a little bit like
Oh, I
stretchy.
just sat down. I didn't even know you had a working progress piece. This is actually really nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I might still change it as I move forward to digital.
I like how big the window is, or as in height and narrowness, because it still gives the idea that she's entrapped somewhere that is much bigger than her.
Yeah.
And that's something that's very simple.
Now, quick question: is this window flat? Like, is it like frontal, or is it in perspective a little bit? To
It's in perspective, yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
okay,
cylindrical tower, and
Mhm.
then so
Got it. I was trying to peer in. I was trying to see if there was like a edge thickness to the right, and I think I see it.
yeah, there's
yeah, you'll want to punch that up. And that's another thing, like you'll be able to sell the roundness of the tower in perspective, when you're doing brickwork. Sorry,
yeah,
again, right-handed. And do some lost and found brick pattern
yeah,
to sell the roundness. Yeah,
yeah.
it's too easy.
That's a very good point, because um that's like the on my list on my list of priorities.
Well,
But
for
I think
comics, there's a cheap way to do it. Is that like you don't have to turn the entire thing brick. You just have to create just like small little parts around it to create the illusion that this is a brick wall.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's kind of what I was thinking. Do like a lost and found, like have it a little bit stronger there, and then just kind of let it fade out, and you'll get that illusion, and keep
yeah,
all the focus right there in the middle. And you can
yeah,
even do like vignette on the side, and just like find your light source. Like if your light source is up here, and then you want
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
Oh, my arm.
I
Like
drew
map
the
to light.
yeah, I drew the perspective on like another file in Procreate. So I think I don't want to, but I think I have to go back to it and draw all the bricks for me to then go back to these and start drawing the lost and found edges while following the perspective, because that's just how I work. But
Do the work one time. Create a brush,
yeah, it's just like
and then
maybe I'm
warp the
just a
perspective
little
of
bit
it.
lazy, but
That's why I love digital. I love the tips and tricks.
That's
But yeah,
how I
once you
do
get
it with
that in
textbooks.
and you determine your light source, like man, there's all kinds of light and shadow play that you can find in the figure and in the hair. And I know your painting style, like it's gonna be awesome, man.
yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it's more exciting than the one that I shared last week, so that's good. And yeah, that's basically it.
How do you think it's more exciting? I mean, I guess there's more of a story, but I loved your the well. Is that the one you're talking about?
I made a sketch for this concept last week that was different. I
Oh,
had
I
her
didn't see
like
it in the
standing
feedback.
I had her standing on a stool,
Oh,
and the window was circular, and yeah, it was a more stiff position, and yeah, it was different from this one.
okay.
But
I
yeah,
dig it.
thank you.
I like it. I'm excited to see how dramatic you're gonna make it.
Yeah,
Stunning.
the drama is there in the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I can't
And I'm
wait to see
imagining
it
just
like
like the
fully
fade
rendered.
in from dark shadow to like focus on this. Like, yeah, I think I can see it in my head in your style, and I'm really excited for it.
Thank you. I do have like, I'm not sure about like I know there's supposed to be like a cast shadow on the floor, and that's something that I still have to figure out because I'm not sure how this lighting situation is going to translate in this scenario. I know. I mean, I remember in perspective class they showed us how to do this, but it's like a very long process. This is a part that I want to like cheat a little bit on. So if you have any tips.
I mean, for me, even without taking into account like the formality of perspective, I kind of just take my cast shadows and put them in the same direction as the light source and account for what the light is hitting and isn't hitting. So
So
that's really like the most basic way.
So I have a
'Cause-
trick that Joko showed me. So basically, like, so you had your light source right there. So basically, how you would treat it is that you would have it direct straight down in a 90-degree perspective, in a 90-degree, and then you make it into like a ball. And then basically what you do is you have it traject outward, in like the directions that it's going. And then that will become like the bounce light of where it will hit as objects.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, this is really rough. Please forgive me. But yeah, so you've got your light source, like if this is your theoretical light source, it's coming in. When it hits this chick, wherever the light, and you're going to know where the light's going to hit her. Wherever the light's not hitting her, that is going to create a cast shadow along that same path.
Yeah.
Right? So it's going to go straight. So all this stuff is going to be in shadow, and then you get to choose. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. It's so crap. But you get to choose which pieces of these hair are, not in the path of the shadow, and which ones are going to catch light. And you're going to have a lot of lost and found, not lost and found. You're going to have a lot of light and dark, light and shadow on these wild strands of hair that are flowing. And I would think about that even in a design, like which ones are coming closer to the camera, closer to the viewer to be able to catch little bits of light here, and maybe there's even some really cool designs you could put in while you're plotting out like where the hair lies and which strands are being caught with light and which ones are being caught with shadow.
Yeah.
Does any of this make sense? Because I'm afraid I'm just
No, it does.
I'm all gimpy over here.
It does. I feel like I just have to do it, and I'll be figuring out on the go. But yeah, it's
I'm gonna turn my football drawings off. X's and O's, we're gonna block here and blitz here. Sorry. Good times, good times.
Thank you.
So now just for even, hang on. I don't want to do that. Now just for even Steven. Now you guys can lambast me.
Well,
Yeah, I was
wouldn't be-
telling Ryan about this, Lewis. I've been working on this because my shoulder's jacked up and like I've been trying to get some exercise by just sketching and doodling and whatever. So I just went for like really rough, flat, and then I saw your concept sketches and I'm like, dude, your freaking looks so much better than what takes me hours to just throw out. So I hate you, Lewis.
No, don't be like that. That makes me feel bad.
No, man,
No,
no,
don't do that.
it's a good hate. Like you're good. Like the amount of detail and believability that you bring to your characters, it's good. Be proud of it. This took me all day while I was sitting here waiting for that stupid program to load.
Okay, but to be fair, you are handicapped right now, so give yourself some grace.
Okay, I will do.
Thank you.
So is this character like from the same universe and storytelling than the other ones that you've got
Yes.
lately.
Yeah,
The
this is a
hammer.
older version. The original version of the character is, like teenager, maybe like 16, 17. And this
Okay.
one's much older. But yeah, same character. I have, like I was telling Ron, I have the postmodern version, and then I've got like a cyberpunk version. And this is the older cyberpunk version. I really want to put her in a bomber jacket, but I was talking to Ryan about that, and like I'm having a real hard time depicting like a leather jacket over hard points of armor.
Well, it's also like a size thing. If she gets like, if you're gonna put her in like, I mean, even in a crop like bomber jacket, because I have plenty of those. If the size is bigger or like two sizes, like if she usually wears a small and she gets a jacket that's like an extra large, you don't have to account for that because the fabric is just going to sit on top.
Yeah, I definitely
So
Yeah.
if
want
you want
a
the oversized
fluffy.
look,
I
just go
definitely
with the
want the
oversized look.
oversized, like
Yeah,
that
I
resonates with the
think
character.
leather being a thicker material shouldn't be as difficult as if you were to like put her on a chiffon fabric on top of
Yeah.
it, because leather can hold its own shape and it can differ a little bit from the shapes of the armor beneath. So it actually seems a little bit easier to put her on a bomber jacket.
Yeah. Like I
And I
think it'll
like
be
using.
okay. And you also probably like I was telling you before, just account for the armor thickness as well. Because especially in like what she's been created to do, her armor thickness applies to how well she moves. And if she wants to move in that bomber jacket in the same way that she would without it, then her armor pieces need to be um
Yeah, it's
complementary
ceramic.
to her, yeah, complementary
It's
to the way that she moves.
it's
So they
ceramic,
still,
lightweight. It's not made to take a hit, or maybe it's made to take a hit.
yeah. Okay, well then, yeah, you don't have to worry about the bomber jacket sitting on her weirdly because it's already in a place to sit underneath without it hindering her. So I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Usually for me, you can always like look up concepts with because right now I'm like was thinking at the top of my head like the fashion with Cyberpunk and Ghost in the Shell.
Hmm.
And then like I see like the main character in Ghost in the Shell, she wears a jacket. I know like she's like a cyborg or she's like an android herself. But I've also seen like people in Cyberpunk, they got like these styles going on with their jackets, and lots of them have like different types of mechanics going on around them. So it's like you can always look up the concept art around those two types of games, and then maybe you can try to find like something that would fit for that. I've seen it designed where like some people have a jacket that does not have a covering in the back specifically. So it's like it kind of looks like it kind of folds out a little bit. And I think it's for like the designs of any type of robotics in the back. So you can come up with like a clever design like that.
You know, oddly enough, this reminds me of, it's sort of reminiscent to the armor in Spy Kids 3D, out of all
Yes,
things. Yeah, right? It's
yes.
so good.
Get that.
I've only watched it once, but I don't know why I remember them.
I don't know. There's something so satisfying about their armors.
But it's so tiny.
It's easy to move in.
I think my only question for the design of it would be like the piece that's coming out of the ear and going down through the neck.
Hmm.
In the first one, it appears as if that is connecting to her chin directly, but in the second one, isn't.
Yeah, she's got a chin piece. Yeah, it's just a bad overlap.
No, no, I mean, if it doesn't connect like through the chin, maybe in the first one you can put it a little bit more. They feel a little bit very aligned, like the chin
Yeah.
piece and the piece on the neck. So maybe you can offset it a little bit, so it makes like a like a cut.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I thought it was like a pipe that was going through the ear to the chin. But
I think it's just a tangent.
yeah, but I like
Yeah,
it.
imagine it falling
I
the
like it.
jugular vein. That doesn't mean that's the right answer. It's just a very, very 90s Rob Liefeld way of looking at things.
Yeah.
Also, since you mentioned before about the way that she communicates and stuff, how is it true or not true that she's like a little bit chaotic when it comes to decalls? Because she
So
has
her
various other
personality
ways.
archetype is anarchy.
Okay.
Like
So
if you had to describe her in a word, she is anarchy.
okay. So here's where I'm gonna talk biz dev stuff. I know I get that from the way that you talk about her and from what I've read of, what you showed me, but it doesn't feel that way in her
Mhm.
design. So just throwing some suggestions out there, maybe like throwing like some unconventional stickers or like decals, like hand painted things onto her armor pieces. So that way, when she puts on like a solid color bomber jacket, all of that stands out underneath. Um, I would also, especially since you said one that she's anarchy, and two is she has an iteration of her that doesn't speak because of silent protest. I would lean very heavily into the cultural aspect because I want more of that. I want more. I guess really what I want, and you can confirm this or not, I want more indigenousness in her, specifically Hispanic indigenousness. I just want that cultural spice to where, I guess, for like brown identities in particular, being authentically brown in an otherwise non-brown space is a form of anarchy and protest. So I want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As far as the
I
outfit,
just
the way I imagine, because this is a company outfit. This is not her clothes. That's why I want the
right.
bomber jacket, because that would have patches, that would have buttons, and
Okay.
that would be
Okay.
her splice of identity, and it would not be functional. It would be pure comfort. So it's big and fluffy.
Okay.
So maybe not a bomber. Like I'm imagining something kind of leather or like something like that. But yeah, like it's her comfort armor.
Yeah.
Like
Okay. Cool.
it has no
Then
practical
yeah.
purpose.
Then
It's just
I
that's
would
where
just
she
yeah.
could get her personality out.
Yeah. I would take those suggestions in an alternate outfit then.
Good deal.
Specifically for this, that's perfect. I'm thinking like tattoos on the parts of her that are not cybernetic. I'm thinking like
You could
tribal
also
things
do
that are specific areas, that sort of thing.
yeah, you could also do like I don't know what the proper term is. Not adjustments, like because I know that indigenous Mexicans, or that's not the proper term, but they used to put gems on their teeth so that way they weren't taken into slavery. So you could also do that.
Just small little nuance things like
Yeah.
that. Because I think that's definitely what I want from your main MC too, is more culturalness. Like she's great, but there's that twinge of identity that's not, I'm not gonna say it's not quite there, but I want to see it in the design more.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's definitely not there. Like I said, I'm really working
Mm-hmm.
on character. Like the idea is there's a company, so they have company outfits and they have street clothes, and their
Yeah.
street clothes are vastly different, except for Ken, because he is company man. He's the stick in the mud. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm definitely trying to find ways to bring that through and
Mhm,
then try to incorporate splashes of that both in and out of their like combat uniforms.
mhm.
But yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good suggestion. I like the idea with the jacket and like just I don't know, even tattoos, but I'm not good at doing tattoos. I'm gonna have to get Ernie. I'm like Ernie, I need some tattoos on my character.
What I
Yeah,
would,
dude.
what I
Like, do
would
you
say,
ever do that? Do you ever get commissions like, hey, can you design tattoos? But it's for an art piece. It's not going on me. Like,
All the time for me.
oh yeah, Ernie, do you get anything like that?
I haven't actually.
Well, there's always the first time.
Yeah. What I would suggest with this one though is like whenever I think of something being related to anarchy, I always think of something asymmetric. So maybe you can incorporate like I don't know, like battle damaged elements in her armor. So you still have like the symmetric design of the armor, but with like scratches or a piece falling out or whatever, you can like unbalance it a little bit more, and that also would like communicate that oh she has lived through some things in her life and she's tough and she has like came out good, right? So maybe like the boots a little bit ripped off or there's scratches and marks on the armor, and that way like and that randomness of that battle damage elements can also like um feel like she's a wild card, or maybe like with her hairstyle maybe she's like shaved on just one end. I don't know if that's like cliche or not, but
No, yeah,
No,
it's
it's
cliche because
great.
apparently Cyberpunk 2077 did. Judy, I don't know if you played that game,
Yeah.
Oh
but
my God.
I
Yeah, we
played that
talked about
game
this.
and I saw Judy. I'm like, motherfucker stolen my character. That's Whisper right there, but she talks. Like that's the only difference.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's other ways to like communicate wild cardness. I mean, Cyberpunk does a great job, especially with their NPCs that are specifically with the mocks.
Mhm.
That's good stuff. Like I mean, definitely by all means, we love a good undercut, but there's definitely more hairstyles to add to tack on with that that will help sell uh the wild card, the wild child.
yeah.
I just
So
went with
that's
unkempt pseudo mullet.
yes,
Like
absolutely.
I don't give a fuck. So yeah,
Yes,
here's my hair. Congratulations.
absolutely. That's awesome. Fuck it. That's
Cool,
awesome. But
good
yeah,
stuff.
I mean, I think she's great. I loved her from the get-go.
Oh, thank you.
I like the design.
Thank you. Maybe one day I'll commission one of you guys to actually do my guys justice.
Well, you gave me the food already, so I'm waiting on you to knock on my door.
Yeah. Well, we made it to 806, guys. I want to call this a success. We're gonna let Robert watch the replays and he'll call me on the side and tell me how bad I am at all this. And I'll just like Roger that.
Yeah, it was great. You did great.
But no, yeah, I think everything should be back to normal next week. Like I said, he was busy yesterday, last night, and tonight. I had time. Been sitting here staring at the stuff. But yeah, good job with all the work. Like Lewis, these thumbnails, like I really want to know what ends up happening. I know this is for a project, but I actually want to see you go forward with that.
No
It's
problem. I plan to show up a
amazing
lot
stuff.
more
Rich
once school's
story,
over.
great character designs. I love everything you got going on here. And Ernie, your Rapunzel, like I said, man, as soon as I saw this, like even just the line work, like I'm like, I just immediately auto-filled your painting style, and I'm like, it's gonna be epic.
Thank you. Thanks.
So keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah, good session.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Do I have final words of wisdom?
Mm-mm.
If you're gonna do something dumb, be smart about it.
Always.
That's what I tell my kids whenever they leave the house. All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll get together next time.
All
Cool.
right,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Great.
All right, take it easy.
Good.
All right, you too.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, Tally.